Hey there, guys. Frankomatic here with Sis,
Hi!
and we're back with more stories. This is, in fact, right after our last recording. We just went right back into it.
Yay.
So, last time we found out that Zenobia...
Zenobia wubs you.
Yep. And we died. As you do.
As you do.
But that meant there must be a destiny where he survived and won, right? Otherwise, what was the point? And with that, the book's pages fluttered back once more to the beginning, and the clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Bernardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, but he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis Stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Bernardo. On the other hand, his old friend Lupino needed rescuing. Lupino was no game changer, but could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
Okay, this time let's check out the temp.
Go to the temp. Oh.
Yeah.
The island was windswept desert. No one went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Iblis Stone. It sounded ominous. It sounded powerful. If the Emperor was searching for it, it must be dangerous. And so, Bernardo went ostrich hunting. Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away. Were all these things the Iblis Stone? Long hidden in a buried temple, another ancient item that was only resurfacing now, drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals? That ought to be enough for a proper sword, he thought.
Not the one we want, though.
Not the one we want again.
Not give us these,
Wind crystals.
The air here tasted bitter. The steps were too tall for a person. The entire place felt restless, like it had been vexed to nightmare under the dust, waiting for its hour to come around at last.
I'm sorry. Was that your shield?
Ravens were already here, cawing in frustration. They were still searching for a way in. Good. And he hadn't come too late.
Caw, 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 caw,
It
caw.
was definitely easier to fight inanimate objects.
Caw, 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 caw.
Don't be shy.
That went exceptionally poorly.
Yeah. It's not a good show at all.
Love some help. Thank you. Oh, here we go. More text.
Alright. Okay. 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 Okay.
That seems pretty ominous, doesn't it?
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Wait, what? How was he outside? Hadn't he taken an elevator into the depths of the earth?
It's a good question. Hey, we got enough now.
Oh, it was just a trap.
No one could beat Bernardo at hot potato.
Oh, bye.
That took a long time.
I'm gonna blow up the shield guy, though.
I see it. Can you get to it?
Someone says, yes, we can. And a red chest. Right there.
He wished there were more pylons he could use the hook on. Really needed to construct additional pylons.
Ha 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 ha.
Good joke. I guess. Attack speed up can go on for now, that's fine. More importantly, though.
Yeah.
No door can stop us now.
Now you can upgrade.
And this now has magic. Which heals us. Making it pretty good. So we can do this.
That is a very cool sword, thought Renara. No, seriously. He couldn't feel his paw anymore.
Ha 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 ha.
I know, it kind of looks like a katana. And there we are, back on the main path. The magic of the new sword speeds us up. Yeah, max that out. Now we can start attacking from any distance after only a 10-point combo.
Right. Like now. I got you.
Yeah, because I was trying to be a little cautious around the exploding man. Ugh.
I got you.
That was just me being an idiot.
The Ravens at least could not get past this point. Obviously the temple builders knew how to deal with Tomb Raiders.
Not certain why they can't get past this point. We did.
Oh, you missed one.
I did. I mean, there's just a lever right there. That's... not like it's complicated or anything, you know?
Are you questioning the narrator?
Yes, I am.
There was an inscription on the platform. Balaleka lessons, with an address.
What does that mean?
Don't read the inscriptions.
Alright, so, there's a little bit of a puzzle here. By a puzzle, I mean pull this lever.
Oh, man.
Also this lever.
Got you.
Yeah, I thought that was done, but apparently it wasn't. Interestingly, I'm pretty sure on later playthroughs they slow down the rate of fire on those horizontal ones, so you don't have to pull the levers anymore.
Interesting.
Oh, here's our,
Gee.
here's our prize.
It was a stone of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up. Who said that? It was the stone. Eager. Thirsty. Kill the Emperor's daughter. That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once. And Reynardo wasn't sure he really wanted to be Emperor. Why not capture the core of Skyripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. Not the core, said the stone anxiously.
Yeah, we're gonna go for the core.
Don't want to trust the creepy black whispering stone, huh?
I'm pretty sure it doesn't have my best interests at heart.
The stone bothered him. He hated being told what to do. Wasn't that why he joined the rebellion? Wasn't that why he'd refused to be a soldier? He'd agreed to come on board only if he could freelance. The stone felt a bit clingy. The sage Calaveras had told him where to find the Skyripper. A weapon capable of challenging the gods. Even without its armature, the core would still possess great power. He would go there. The moment he landed the Farfarer, Reynardo had a rare feeling of regret. It's not too late, he thought. He could turn around and sail for Zenobia's island. He frowned. Wait a minute. He didn't want to kill Zenobia, did he? Sure, technically she was the enemy, but they'd been at Swordfu school together. They'd never been lovers, but somehow they'd been closer. She'd told him every secret about herself. Except the biggest one. That she was the Emperor's daughter. No. Kill Zenobia, whispered the stone. Before it's too late.
Got a weird black glow around us. I guess more purple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's read this. Whoop.
Down. Down. Okay.
I feel like this might have been written before the Emperor started going kinda nuts. Possibly.
Right, who wants to die first?
What?
That was some bad timing that you had. That's what I did.
I think what happened was it targeted the wrong dude. Because there were two guys standing right next to each other, one of whom was getting ready to attack and one who wasn't. Gib.
Hey!
There was blood on this one, so it hadn't saved its owner.
Well, mine now. So you might not have noticed it, but our health is going up every time we kill somebody right now.
There had to be something useful in these things, didn't there?
Which is why we're at full health despite me taking some hits. Oop. Fire sword, here it is. What an obnoxious path this is.
You almost never saw wild gogglers together like this. The toads had to train them not to peck each other to death. So these had to be imperial gogglers. That meant ravens were up ahead. These things could really use a hand.
Was that a joke?
I don't think so. I think that was just a comment.
Oh, there, I took a hit. Now I'm back at full health. Well, not quite, but getting my health back as I kill these guys. For some reason.
How mysterious. It's as though the blood-drinking stone is drinking some blood.
Come on, shield breaker, please be in this chest. Make my life easier.
Time for a little exploration.
Nope. I found exactly 3 gems, and all of them have leveled up, as opposed to finding any of the ones we don't have. So you want to go to this teleporter, or you want to walk down the walking path? Is there a walking path? There is not a walking path, so I retract the question.
The stone hadn't lied about what it could do for him. With each raven he cut down, he felt a jolt of power flowing into his arm. "You're weak," whispered the stone. "The call will kill you." "Are you afraid of it?" "No, don't be ridiculous," it chuckled. But it's unstable. It will poison you so much as carry it, and if you try to use it, it will explode catastrophically. Reynardo did not trust rocks that talked in his head. He went onwards.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, we know from experience that using it ain't a great idea, so it's not
Totally
completely
wrong.
lying.
jewel
Yes!
was more than sparkly. It had arcane power and an engraving. To Cindy,
Next time I find a workbench, that thing is going right on.
Luckily, Cindy doesn't need it anymore.
Can't reach this to break it. There we go. This is not the correct direction. I went down here. I'm mildly lost because I don't remember this route through the area. This way, this way.
I see some jar. Get that jar.
Okay.
of course there was a puzzle. You couldn't expect the transcendent emperor to bury a god's eye in a leather sack where anyone could pick it up.
Why not?
Also, this ain't much of a puzzle.
Time waster puzzle.
Ah.
It was all coming back to him. He wondered what he'd remember next.
Nope. Can't go back and level up. Gotta keep going.
Alright, here it is.
Hey. Long time no see, friend.
Guess we gotta go pick it up.
As he approached the core, the stone became hysterical. No, it's too much power. We'll rip a hole in space and time. He had a sudden vision of plunging his gauntlet into the core and dying in anguish. That wasn't his vision, was it? The stone had sent him its darkest fears, hadn't it? He had a sudden impulse to do exactly that. He raised his right fist and plunged it into the core. There was a rush of light. He thought he could hear the stone screaming. And then he passed out. When Renato came to, the core was gone. But the Iblis stone was no longer black, but glowing with a blue light. And it was silent. "I can't hear you," he sang out, and "You?" It didn't answer. "Ha!" he said. He had defeated the demonic gem with the power of his mind. He felt invincible. It was time to attack the Imperial outpost on the Nexus. Take the battle to the enemy. But among the huge crystals, there was also an observatory. A wise man would probably ask the scientists exactly what he had first. How wise was he?
Or? Nope, go to the scientists. Learn about
As
it.
the Farfarer made its way toward the Nexus, Renato watched sparks fly out of the core. The Iblis stone sucked them in hungrily. You'd think the stone would want this kind of power, wouldn't it? Thought Renato. Well, the scientists would explain it all. This time, Renato was sure he'd figured out how to use the core safely.
Definitely. No weirdness.
See? He'd trusted his gut, and it had worked out. That's what it meant to be a hero. To ignore the naysayers and the oddmakers, and do what you knew was right, and have it turn out to be the right thing. Well, he wasn't worried. Once he got to the observatory, the scientist toads could explain it. Then he could carry the war into the enemy's camp and destroy them all. Oh dear, he was getting a little bloodthirsty, wasn't he? With materials like this, he could probably make a really nice pair of barbecue tongs. Or even a sword.
Renardo, your thoughts are getting a little weird, man.
It's fine, don't worry about it. We killed the stone, it's cool. See, we're glowing blue instead of purple now. That's way less ominous, right? I mean, it would probably
was fun.
be better if we weren't glowing at all, but... I think blue is an improvement. An improvement.
An improvement?
Should we go get that red chest again?
Yes.
Once we have level 3 of all the gems, the red chests basically become pointless. But until then... it's worth nabbing them, I think.
He hadn't noticed that path before.
The path that we took last time. Hadn't noticed it.
Kind of an idiot, aren't you?
He had defeated the stone with the power of his mind.
Idiot.
Now we now have the maximum health possible. For now, at least.
You shall not pass.
We are still regaining health on kills. Also. The stone is still doing what it was doing.
The right jewel could really give you an edge. The wrong...
That was lucky.
well, it still looked pretty, didn't it?
And that's a note we read before. I'm pretty sure they don't change. Pretty sure they're set by location. Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, getting the Shield Breaker 2 is nice. Real fast.
Hoped his hook didn't break.
If only we could find somewhere to put it into our gauntlet, because you can't just, you know,
Do that.
slam it in there. That ain't right. Need tools. You gotta have a hammer to slam it in there.
You gotta have a chisel to pick the other one out.
Weirdly hard to hit gem.
Bernardo had never felt better in his life. Normally, a battle would wear him down and he would need a night's sleep. Now he felt like he could go all night and all day. He felt like people were cheering him on, and he could practically hear their applause as he slew one raven after another.
Bernardo.
Completely normal. This is fine. Don't worry about it. No problems here. The scientists will tell us what's up, and it's cool.
Stone and the Sky Ripper core. Two artifacts from the time of legends. Renato was becoming a legendary hero, wasn't he? He had enough power to save the rebellion, but he had to understand this power, so he would not misuse it.
So the shield breaker just lets us smack the guys with shields, causing
break their
them to
shield.
drop them.
Oh.
Level 2 also makes them take damage from that hit.
What's level 3 do?
These platforms are great. Renato wanted one
Sends
for
their
his
shields
house.
flying as a projectile.
Cool.
Captain America style. Haven't seen this thing in a while.
The weird boat. It only has one wall, apparently.
There we go. In theory, not having to stop specifically to deal with the shield dudes will make me more likely to get perfects. In actuality, I will continue to play like an idiot and not get perfects.
Well, at least you're honest with yourself. I like how shiny this place is.
Alright, here we are. Back at the scientists.
The toads at the observatory measured the stone with their occult devices. I fed it the core of Sky River, explained Renato. No more TV blood and souls.
But the core is not an unlimited energy source.
Said one toad. Another said,
There's a feedback loop, you see, which could overload the stone.
The stone doesn't actually feed on souls,
claimed a third.
but on pain of killing another sentient being. If you can truly be at peace with yourself, it would not overload.
This was all very confusing. At peace. Yes, the mountains were peaceful and quiet, but he now had the power to turn the tides. He should report to the Rebellion Council and prepare for the decisive battle.
Nah, go on a peace retreat.
Sure? Sure you don't want to do this?
I'm sure I want to go on a peace retreat.
Alright.
The one thing he understood from all the Toad arguments, maybe the stone did not feed on blood, or souls, or rage. It fed on empathy. It fed on the pain he felt when he put an end to another being's existence. Even if that other being was a raven intent on killing him. If he could find peace, then he could use the power of the Ibla Stone without being taken over by its evil. The mountains. He would go to the mountains. He could find peace there. Unfortunately, the mountains were not empty. There were ravens everywhere. No matter. He had to fight, yes, but he didn't have to be angry. Parry, dodge, slash, and breathe. Yes, focus on the rhythm, the dance of it, not on the blood or the raven's core as they died. Ah, it was working. He wasn't feeling those dark jolts of eldritch energy. He wasn't feeding the Iblis Stone.
Let's calmly slice
If you
them to
want their
shreds.
things broken, they really ought to make them stronger.
Tear them to little pieces.
Seems like it's still healing you, though.
The stone was still silent. His mind was his own, and his heart too. He bore them no ill will, these ravens. They were doing their job. They were expressing their nature. Dance, whirl, parry, jab, and breathe. It was all so simple, wasn't it? Something was missing. He didn't feel truly at peace. Wait, wasn't this near where Calaveras lived? The sage would help him figure it all out.
Yeah, we can go get some advice
There was an
from
inscription. Praise the sun.
Calaveras and ignore it, like last time.
What were these poles exactly? Parking meters from the time of the lost gods?
The time of the lost gods, huh?
Yep. I mean, the core of the Sky Ripper is explicitly the eye of a lost god, so... As far as anyone knows, at least. Do you like the snowy place?
Seems a little too cold for my tastes.
Why?
Aesthetically, I like it though. I'm not super into cold.
But you like the cold.
No.
You're always like, boy, I wish it was colder in here this time of year.
I mean, that's not cold though, it's anti-heat.
Oh wait, we can get over there now. We can go through that door.
That cold door. Cha.
It turns out this wasn't actually a door, that was just
Or
a
I could go
natural
that way, he thought.
ice formation. Get some lore.
Down. 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 Hmm.
Give me a lever, said Archimedes, and I shall open a gate.
I don't know if that's an accurate quote.
I don't think it is. Yeah, you did it.
Might as well end that fight a little faster, I
We
guess.
needed some way to break the ice with this wall, so to speak.
2 big red chests. What a reward.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, those were 2 good finds. We're actually close to the gem layout that I had in my old save that I got rid of for this. I only have level 1 of the last gem I wore, though.
The Iblis Stone, silenced by the Sky Ripper's core, had given Renato enough power to challenge the Imperial fleet. But what Renato was seeking was inner peace. The rebellion was on the verge of extinction, and it would have to wait.
This one area is real rough on my computer.
Look at that jitter.
In the video recordings, we don't see a lot of the spots where the recording goes weird in person, but here we do! Anyways, hey Calaveras. What's up? Been a while.
At the end of the mountain path, he found the wise Calaveras in his workshop. To fix souls or only artifacts? He asked the sage.
Does your soul need fixing?
Asked the sage. I've been killing a lot of ravens lately, he told the sage.
You're a fox,
Said Calaveras.
and to kill birds is part of your nature. You should take joy in it. I mean, I might as well worry about eating flies. Would you like a fly?
It was true. That's what he had forgotten. The joy. Now he was ready for the final battle. The Farfarer cut through the clouds. The air had never felt so sweet since he was a child. There it was. The dreaded Imperial fleet. He could smell wet hemp ropes ahead. Wood and tar and ravens. Even the fleet smelt good, somehow. He was ready. He was ready.
This advice, I don't like it.
Yeah, advice was kinda something, wasn't it? Just remember, killing is fun.
Oh yeah.
Renato had it all squared away in his head. He would kill the Emperor. Isengrim III had begun well, but he had gone mad. He was trying to invoke the lost gods by means of dark, blasphemous rituals. That was a secret. But the victims had spoken to Renato. The ghosts had spoken. No. No anger. Renato could not afford anger. It was empowering the crystal in his sword. That made him stronger, but it clouded his mind. He would not be a hero. A hero strives. Renato would just be one with everything. The Emperor would die, and the wheel would turn, and all would be restored without rancor, without sorrow, without pain.
Current objective, kill the Emperor. But now we can open this door.
Hooray.
The new pathway made Renato curious.
You ready for a slightly more dynamic entry?
Ooh, it's so snowy.
He felt like Tarzan.
Or George of the Jungle.
Watch out for that tree.
But the more he thought about it, and he had so much more time to think about it now that he was not worrying about the battle, killing the Emperor would not change anything. Another would take his place. Perhaps Zenobia. Perhaps the Speaker of the Rebel Council, and power would corrupt them too, and death would make grief, and grief would lead to hatred. He must lead by example. Reject the violence. Reject the desire to create violence. But how? That had gone rather well, actually.
Getting all philosophical here in the final battle. Maybe not the best time for it, you know?
I mean, it could be a worse time. Like, never is a worse time.
This thing really needed a roof.
Incidentally, taking that path skips like half the level. So if you're just looking to get endings, it's a good way to speed up the process a little bit.
Gotta speedrun stories, I guess.
Yeah, right there. There was a guy that was in the way, so I couldn't actually counter properly. Alright, ready to murder an emperor? With the power of our no longer demonic stone. So here we go.
Finally, he came to the Emperor's ship. The path behind him was strewn with dead ravens. The path to enlightenment. His mistake, he realized, was trying to change the world. The world would spin and the wheel would revolve whether he strove against it or not. What he had to do was nothing. He had attained enlightenment. He sat down, adopted a full lotus position, and began to meditate. And all around him, the warriors stopped fighting too. They knew. They could feel his enlightenment. They gave up fighting, dropped their weapons, and became his disciples.
Really?
No, just kidding. The nearest raven stabbed him with a sword and chopped off his head.
Yeah.
I might not have thought this through properly. Thought Renato's head as it rolled around the deck and died. And just like that, he was alive again and back on the Farfarer, still fleeing burning Ubar. The book was still open before him. So, the book was a portal. It took you to the future, when your destinies would branch. He had failed and died 3 times, but he learned another true thing. The Iblis Stone was evil. It would try to corrupt anyone who used it.
So that went, bad.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was going fine until suddenly he decided,
Kinda just sit down.
I figured out enlightenment. But anyways, that's 3 true things learned. Just got this one mysterious one to go. So you made a nice line in the paths you've taken here. This nice diagonal.
I don't think I can continue it, though. I think I'm gonna break it next time.
But next time is for next time.
Alright.
Anyways, later guys.